Hey, South Africa team. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so happy to be with you today. And I would like to thank the organizing team for coming up with this great event and great preparations. Thank you so much for even the prior engagements that you go through to make this happen. So thank you so much. So at this point in time, allow me to share my screen and feel free to let me know if you can see my screen clearly. So thank you once again for having me and for joining in today and for supporting the ISACA South Africa chapter. My name is Veronica Rose and I'm an information systems auditor. I'm a certified data privacy solutions engineer, and I was happy that I was among the first CDPC exam takers. I wear different hats currently, and I'm a director sitting at the ISACA International Board. I'm a former board member at ISACA Kenya chapter. I'm actually the outgoing advocacy director, and I'm a keynote speaker. I'm a publishing author. I hope you can all see something yellow on your screens right now. That's my book. It's titled Choosing to Be on the Top Because the Bottom is Too Crowded. It's a career book. It's available on Amazon. I'm the founder of Encrypt Africa. It's an ICT consulting company and a member of ISACA. I would like to mention an active member of ISACA and the host of podcast. I host a podcast called Experts Corner. So I'm an active, I'm so much active on social media, especially LinkedIn and Twitter. So feel free to reach out to me and connect with me. So in the next few minutes, I'll be taking you through the ideas of reinventing your career capital, talking about the ideas that can trigger you as you pursue your career, and more on cultivating your career probably in the right direction. So let's get started. I'm projecting my screen. I'm wondering why it's not moving. So I'll press again, yes. So when we talk about career capital, what comes into your mind? I always like asking questions about what comes into your mind if you hear of the word career capital. But before we dive deep into the topic of this session, this is something that you've probably done before, you've heard about, or you're doing currently, although unknowingly. Chances are you're doing it unknowingly. So career capital is more of a foundation that facilitates in helping you to build your career. You have, to build your career capital, you have to systematically build your key competences. That is number one. You have to build your key competences for you to be able to even have a great career capital. So this is an interesting topic. And so just to give you a brief actually about the term career capital, or what it entails, what it's all about. It is actually a concept that was developed in 1994 by some organization psychologists. If I can remember their names very well, it's De Filippi and the authors. For the organization. Initially, they developed it for the organization. But as time progressed, it has been shaped into a manner that is meant to reflect the individual more than the organization or teams in the organizations. So it was invented to ensure that people invent you build your key competences. You leverage on those key competences for you to succeed in your career journey. So if you're keen, you might have heard about these terminologies like becoming a careerpreneur. Those are the new terms that are coming up. You may have heard of an intrapreneur. and in relation to career capital. So we, as we go further, you'll understand what an entrepreneur means, what a careerpreneur means as we proceed with the session. So right now, it is more crucial. It is more crucial to develop a successful career marked by creativity. It can be impact. It can be value that you're adding to the rest. It can be control and also self-governance. So let's get to another slide. And here I would like us now to define what career capital means. So all that being said earlier, career capital is anything that puts you in a better position to make a difference in your career future. This includes your skills, your connections, your credentials, and a runway. Some people are lucky that they have it all already figured out. Probably the runway had already been created by them, maybe their parents, maybe their background, maybe the environment where they stay. While others have to create their own runways. So after acquiring or creating your career runway and all that is necessary for you to be at the rightful state in your career, then how do you maintain your career capital, or how do you reinvent your career capital? So that's why we are here today in this session. So this session is to empower you to rethink and reinvent how best you can improve your career capital, because gaining career capital is very important throughout your career. This session, you may think that it's only special for rising professionals, but indeed it's for everyone. So it is key throughout your career capital, especially when you're an open-minded person. And there is a lot to learn. Remember, we are always students for life. We are always learning and also mastering on how to invest in our career and reinvent it diligently. So once you have got enough knowledge, you will think of building your career capital or reinventing your career capital and adding more value, probably in the profession or in the areas of expertise. So in reference to basic economic theory, it tells us that if you want something that is both rare and valuable, you need something rare and valuable to also offer in return. It doesn't just come, on a silver platter, no. So this is related to mostly the law of supply and demand, because it follows that if you want to probably have a great job or a great career, you need something of great value to offer in return. This can be your skill, this can be your competence, and any other thing related to your career. For example, taking on hard tasks instead of easy tasks. That can be a differentiator between you and other candidates. So if you want a great career, you need something of great value to offer in return. So then, I would like us to look at how best can you cultivate your career capital. And we will talk about 3 steps in this slide. So when you think of cultivating your career capital, some of you may wonder, how do you even start? And here are just a few tips that you can use to build your career capital. So number 1 is developing your professional brand. This is very key. We live in a digital environment. Everything is online. Everything is mostly conducted virtually. And with the outbreak of the pandemic, it showed us the possibilities of using technology and leveraging on it. So building your personal brand is a very key differentiator of one candidate from another. So here you have to be intentional on how you present yourself, both online and offline. If someone hears of Veronica Rose, what gets into their mind? So you build your career capital around here. And then next, we are looking at the green parts of this circle, and we are looking at the research industries and target companies. Here, what you do is that when you focus on researching on industries and you profile companies that you really want to work with or to grow your career with, this not only increases your interest in working or partnering with that company, but it will assist you in acquiring insider knowledge on how the company operates, what are some of the solutions that you are bringing to the table, if you're a solutions provider, what skills you need to acquire or the experience that you need to maybe to be the suitable candidate to be in that organization. So this will expand your knowledge on where you want to apply for a job and also help you build your network. And then lastly, we look at how building connections and relevant experience. So when we say building connections and relevant experience, here you can cultivate, you can only cultivate this through maybe information or interviews and attending events. It is said that 70% of opportunities that are acquired through networks and connections, 70% of opportunities are always acquired through connections and networks. So after all this is achieved, you look at yourself and say, yes, I've built my personal brand, I've researched target industries or target partners, and now I'm building my connections. Now you reflect on your career plan because you're doing all these to, you're cultivating your career plan. So you're looking at this and then you're trying to update your career goals and updating your plan in the long run. So let's get to the next slide. And these are just a few steps that you are going to use to ensure that you are cultivating your career in a rightful way. So to develop your career capital, you start with carrying out an inventory of your career. How? This sounds like carrying out an IT asset inventory. Whoever is in IT, like carrying out an IT asset inventory, you have to identify, classify all your information assets. Yes, it's more of a similar concept, but this is now on an individual level. There is no way you can actually improve on anything that you don't know. Same way, there's no way how you can protect any tool in cybersecurity or information systems when you don't know your information system. So that's the same thing, same concept that we are using here. So there's no way how you're going to improve on what you know, on anything that you don't know. So carrying out a career inventory will help you understand what capital you should improve on, what capital you want to build so that you make an informed decisions. So let us look at the real fundamentals of developing your career capital. So number one is knowing your why. Mm-hmm. Knowing why, this is where you are examining internal and external factors that are driving your career or need for change. So what happens here is that it could be related to the changes in the marketplace, the technology. It can be the demand for particular skills. It can be either layoffs, like last year, so many companies laid off their staff. It can be burnout, it can be boredom, or it can also be someone may be disgruntled at the end of the day, or maybe the corporate culture or disruptions. Anything can happen. So know why you want to reinvent your career capital. And then number two, you look at knowing whom. Knowing whom is very important. So here, this relates to your network, the ones you develop through your, the professional networking, through your work, through volunteering with the professional bodies. And in this case, I'm speaking of ISACA. There are so many professional bodies outside there, but I would prefer ISACA, and I'm so proud to mention ISACA. So your professional life, whom all can help to move you forward in your career or as you're transitioning to a new career. So stage two also consists of your mentors. They can be your sponsors, your peers, your supervisors, friends, colleagues. You look at your family, the community connections, your co-workers as well, the virtual connections that you always connect with, especially on professional networking sites like LinkedIn, and experts in the industry. So in other words, you can refer to this as your social capital. And then lastly, knowing how. Knowing how is also important. This consists of what you have learned to do the job, the skills you've acquired, the competences, the courses you have taken, the certifications you've taken, volunteering, the experience you've earned, the trainings you've attended, hands-on experience, and attending conferences, you simulated out different projects, you've participated in different projects and other learning activities. So knowing how is key because it is more of hands-on, applying the knowledge that you have acquired so far. So to become effective in developing your career capital, you need to explore your relationship with mostly the perceived internal and external marketability. And this means being able to adapt. You should be able to adapt to continue to keep up to date with the future jobs. Because I'll give an example like us in audit. It is said that auditors who use artificial intelligence are likely to replace auditors that are not using artificial intelligence. So you should have a perspective on the changes on the job market. Will my role still be relevant in the future? You have to look at all that. And also ask people how they perceive you. If they mention Veronica Rose, what comes into their mind? Understand that. So in other words, always seek for feedback in the process of developing your career capital. We have an issue that at least today we have certifications where you can upgrade your knowledge, increase your credibility, and so forth. Gone are the days where people could actually get one degree and that's the end of it. No further professional development, nothing else is done to improve on your career. But today, with the changes in the technology, the market itself is so demanding and dynamic. We have so many social trends and quite a number of changes. So you have to be abreast with reinventing your career. So also career capital means setting yourself up for success. If you have done the reinvention very well and you have reviewed your career plan very well, you are setting yourself up for success. So if you are continually investing in your career, you should be seeing or expect an increase in your economic capital as well. You should be seeing progress in your career as well. So to understand this further, I would like us to watch a video. It's by Career Spot. So just briefly, I'll play it here for you. Here we go. Oh, yeah. So that's a video by Career Spot, and it was just to make you also understand that people out there are also building their career capital. So at this moment, I would like to share with you the tips or ways how you're going to gain your mastery of your career capital. And here are a few steps and tips on how you're going to reinvent your career capital. So in this digital age, building career capital requires a conscious effort to strategically evolve, to act and influence as a valuable and a respected resource. So in order for you to reinvent your career capital, you have to either brand or rebrand, kind of reinventing or carrying out an inventory, like we mentioned in the earlier slides. So, and you also have to remember we are focusing on personal growth, not for an organization. It's not being selfish, but now it's on a personal growth or individual level. So here, I'd like to mention that when I mention sales, I mean your skills. So your sales, in this case, are your skills, your value, and your salary. Your customers are now your employers. Yes. Remember, we are talking about your individual. So here you have to make sure that you bring in awareness of who you are or what you want to be in the next phase of your career. By the way, when you come also to think of it, how then do you even increase your sales? Because now we are talking business terms while inventing our careers. So here is how you will achieve that. You'll ensure that you have unique offerings to your customers. And in this case, your customers, like I mentioned, your customers are now your employers. You have to keep track of your performance metrics as an individual. You have to display good communication skills, because what is hindering majority of us in the industry is the way we communicate. Sometimes it's a problem to majority. And also look at how you deliver quality deliverables at work and to your clients. So here you have to be so good at what you do, and your results should always speak volumes for you. In other words, just be so good that you cannot be ignored, and you are the point of reference at the end of the day. So, and lastly, you have to look at seeking mentorship and paying attention to feedback. Sometimes some feedback, we don't want to receive negative feedback, but it's better you receive feedback and you look at ways of transforming yourself than staying at a state where you wouldn't wish to hear anything about you. So let's proceed. And here, I'm saying you build your career capital by becoming world-class at the rare and the valuable skills. But imagine you even have these skills right now. It's just a matter of perfecting them and reinventing them. So many people, you'll find that they'll talk about following your career, following your passion, but they'll never mention to you how. And this is one of the biggest fallacies that are being promoted in the career world today. And that when you follow your passion, you will find happiness, you will find the job that you love doing and everything. But one thing I'd like to also mention is that you need to find a job that corresponds with your passion, with your pre-existing passion. That is how follow your passion works. And also you will find that when you embrace a passion mindset, a craftsman's mindset, it is setting you up for success. Because passion does not come before skills. We need to understand that. Passion does not come before skills. So that is often the roadblock, and it is hard to get around this idea that We all have pre-existing strong passion, and it's just whether or not we follow it. So ensure that you have the skills in that area that you are passionate about. So the problem with having, why am I still insisting on this passion thing, is that the problem with having a passion mindset is that it leads people to approach their work by asking, what can the world offer me? But remember, when you're building your career capital, we are focusing on what values are you offering to the world. So, and the results, why do they keep on saying that? What can the world offer me? That results into a lot of job hopping. You'll find some people today, they're in this industry, they're getting into a different role, different opportunity kind of thing, just because they're not settled. They're hopping job to job. They have not mastered any skill, but they are following a passion that they are not even aware of. So embrace a craftsman's mindset, in which you ask, what can I offer the world? Because when you focus on what works for, when you focus only on what your work offers you, it will make you hyper aware of what you don't like about it, leading to probably chronic unhappiness. It happens. You'll see burnout and people, people are just resigning without a reason. So this is especially true at mostly entry-level positions, which rarely, sometimes when you are at entry level, that is just appearance, you're just learning. You haven't yet figured out exactly where do I fit. So it's better you first of all master something there. And then if you see you can reinvent into something else, then that's when you can think of reinventing your capital into something else. So I would like also to mention something on having discipline. So having discipline, regardless of whether whether you're under supervision or not, it is very key, because discipline will help you maintain your clients. Discipline will enable you achieve your targets, achieve your roles, and everything related to your career. So having discipline is very key. And also creating interpersonal relationships. I don't mean the transactional relationships, no. So if you want to grow your network effectively, I'll recommend that have the ability to provide solutions, not you just asking from them. I'm sure a majority of you have gotten friend requests connection requests from LinkedIn, and you'll find that someone is reaching out to you asking for a job. Yes, on LinkedIn, we don't have time to be responding to every text for someone to ask you, how are you, and so forth. Yes, we understand that. But when it comes to connecting intentionally, connect with the people when you're providing solutions first. Let the relationship be interpersonal before it becomes transactional. And also, something I would like to mention is facing something we call fear, false evidence appearing to be true. Trying to switch careers, sometimes it is challenging on new roles or anything, but it is always important to also face your fears. Sometimes you're fearing to attempt, or you are afraid of attempting something just because you don't know more about it. But guess what? Some things that we are afraid of, we can do better in them when we practice, or we get an opportunity to work or to practice in them. So face your fears. If it is a role that you feel like you can do it perfectly, try it out and see the results that will happen. So I see my power has gone off, but I hope I'll still be online in the next few minutes, but nothing to worry about. So I also wanted to mention something about focus. So focus in the modern world, we refer to it as the new IQ. Yeah. So concentrate on the area or master a particular skill and try hard to be so good so that everyone can refer to you. When they mention cybersecurity, does your name appear? When they mention IT audit, does the name Veronica appear anywhere? So ensure you stay focused so that you master that skill, regardless of how much time